We're live again. I have no clue why Ty Leto is not on a microphone because we'd have probably 20,000 more viewers. But he calls these two, Bert and Ernie, I think a really good pair of Red Barrows. Lot 33 and Lot 34, 56-5 and 57-2. We'll let Nick let the pigs settle in just a little bit, and then we'll let Nick kind of describe them to you.
Now, I'll try and keep my commentary limited, but these red pigs are near and dear to my heart, so I can get a little long-winded. The bigger one of the pair of them is Lot 33, and that's 56-5. He would be out of main drag, sired by main drag, back on a first litter main man gilt. So that's a line bred mating. That has been a really, really good litter. We took a litter mate barrow to him as well last weekend to the chosen ones, and he was very well received. That main drag as a sire really just kind of hit the scene there last fall, and so relative to his age when we introduced him the end of 2 seasons ago, his very first pigs really didn't hit the show ring until September-ish last year, and he sired champions at the Kansas State Fair and Minnesota State Fair, and then quickly rolled in and had a good run, had 3 of the first 4 barrows out at Tulsa. He sired the Grand Barrow at Kansas City at the American Royal. Just had Grand Barrow at San Angelo. I think he had a pig that got a piece of things at Phoenix, but man, as a sire, that one's done really good. He came from a really, really good litter at our place, probably the best top to bottom Duroc litter at Leto Show Pigs in the last couple of years. So main drag's litter mate barrow would have been Reserve Supreme at the Iowa State Fair. Another one was Supreme Purebred at Exarban, Reserve Supreme Purebred Guild at the Iowa State Fair. And so I think it's important to mention on this pair, they are VIP eligible for our show at the Iowa State Fair, but we think these two fit, a pretty good window. If you're online or you show up tomorrow to see the pigs, I think these guys can kind of fit anywhere in that August or early September time frame. And so that's a fun pair for sure. And then the smaller of the 2 red barrows in here is Lot 34, and he is ear notch 57-2, and he's a fun one for us. He's the very first pig that we've marketed out of a new boar that we introduced for this season called Rocco. And so Rocco's a really interesting pig. He's a main character green bottles back on main character's aunt. And so he's a line bred pig that's super impressive in person. He's been really popular at the farm. We're excited about these pigs. The mother of this 57 litter barrow, he looks skinny and green today, but I'm telling you, for any of you that saw his mother last summer, Nick Edwards would have shown her really successfully. She was the High Points Duroc gilt on the Iowa Swine Jackpot Series, and then she would have been 5th overall at the World Pork Expo. And so if this little pig out here tonight gets just a fraction of her fluff and flesh and bulk and density, combined with his running gear and wild look, I think that one's going to be super fun this summer. So fun pair of red pigs. I'll let Hunter give you some comments, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, if you couldn't tell that the SGI crew, Nick and Ty, are passionate about red pigs, and you probably haven't got the privilege to talk to either one of them, because they are as passionate about red hogs as anyone in the industry. And moving to Iowa, I've been able to kind of call them really, really good friends of ours, and been fortunate enough to let they're allowing us to feed some red hogs from them, and whether it's just the quality of pigs or some of our crew doing a dang good job of working with them, we've had some success. And we talk about VIP all the time. We're fortunate enough to feed a red pig from the Leto crew last year, and Nick as well, that was able to garner us about 5,000 to 6,000 at the Iowa State Fair in terms of some dollar values and winning. And that's a neat thing that you can make a little bit of money doing this, because it's a rare thing. It's a hobby that's extremely good. So that big pig is extremely, extremely good. That's going to be lot 33. That's 56-5, and Nick kind of nailed it in that particular pig and what he represents. Neck and head and quality and length of step behind is awesome. That's just maybe as comfortable as a pig in terms of purebreds as we've seen out here. Like I said, they're small red hogs. They ain't going to come out here and be whip broke, but if them hogs can travel out here and run, you can tell that they have a tremendous amount of quality. I'm not going to get too long-winded because they're wanting to get to the outgate, but if you are able to go to the Leto Ranch and look at Rocco and you have a Duroc sow or more than one, I would maybe probably purchase some semen because he's maybe as impressive as a red boar I've ever seen, but honestly probably as impressive as a mature boar of any breed as I've ever seen. He is the real deal, and we talked about, Nick talked about this one's mom. She was 12 kinds of stout. So if you don't think that one's going to get enough horsepower, maybe you should look in the pedigree just a little bit longer. So I think an interesting set of red pigs. If you think they're a little small or you think they're a little green, I'm telling you, the Grand Duroc at the Iowa State Fair probably was half this size last year. So these things grow, these things get mature, they get stout. I think an elite kind of a pair of red pigs that the Leto and Nick Berry crew has brought you for sure.
Yeah, I think Hunter hit the nail on the head. These guys have not been out of the nursery very long. So our showmanship score and our grade for saleability and presentation might be modest at this point, but they're kind of what you see is what you get. They're little guys. They're young. They need to be this age and size to compete in that window that I referenced earlier, and we think they're perfect for that kind of age range to show there in August and the first part of September.
For sure. No, we'll let them out, boys. I think an awesome pair of red pigs that the crew's brought you today.
Shout out to Richard Berry and his red hoodie out here driving these red pigs. He's looking good out there.